You've seen it 100 times. A bird splashing in a puddle. Innocent, peaceful, almost relaxing to watch. But here's what nobody tells you. In that exact moment, that bird is temporarily destroying the only thing keeping it alive. And it does this willingly, every single day. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a bird bath the same way again. Most people assume birds bathe for the same reason we do, to stay clean, to look presentable. But birds don't care about appearance. To them, bathing is not a luxury, it's not a habit, it's survival maintenance, as critical as eating or breathing. Because feathers aren't just decorations sitting on a bird's body. They are precision-engineered tools, built from keratin, the same protein found in your hair and fingernails, but designed to solve one extraordinary problem. How do you fly without falling? Under a microscope, each feather reveals a breathtaking design. Tiny interlocking structures called barbules connect like microscopic Velcro, creating a smooth, airtight surface that catches the air and generates lift. But flight is brutal on feathers. Every single takeoff damages them slightly. Every landing, every gust of wind, every tight turn to escape a hawk slowly pulls those tiny connections apart. Over time, the surface degrades. Air starts slipping through the gaps. The bird burns more energy just to stay airborne. Speeds drop, reaction times suffer. And when your survival depends on being faster than the predator chasing you, even a small drop in performance can be fatal. This is where bathing enters the story. Moisture makes feathers flexible, flyable, easier to work with. Once damp, birds begin an incredibly detailed process called preening. Using only their beak, they pull each feather through, one at a time, reconnecting those microscopic structures and restoring the smooth surface their wings depend on. It is slow, careful, meticulous work. Imagine having to inspect and manually repair every single component of a parachute by hand every single day of your life. Miss one piece, and the whole thing fails at the worst possible moment. That is essentially what birds are doing. But repairing the structure is half the job. Near the base of a bird's tail sits a small but vital organ called the Preen gland. This gland continuously produces a waxy, specialized oil unlike anything found in the human body. After preening the structure of each feather, birds collect this oil carefully with their beaks and distribute it across the plumage. The oil helps maintain feather flexibility, preserves the interlocking structure, and provides resistance against water, stopping the feathers from becoming saturated during rain. And here is where nature delivers one of its strangest paradoxes. Birds need water to properly apply the very substances that protect them from future water. Without getting wet first, they cannot spread the oil evenly. Without the oil, the feathers deteriorate faster. It's a loop, and stepping into water is the only way to keep it turning. But this life-saving ritual comes with a terrifying cost. The moment a bird steps into water, it becomes something it almost never is in the wild: vulnerable. Water adds weight to every feather. The aerodynamic efficiency that birds depend on drops instantly. Takeoffs become slower, reaction times suffer, and the gap between life and death, measured in fractions of a second, suddenly narrows. Imagine being asked to sprint for your life while wearing soaking wet, heavy winter clothing. That is the physical reality birds face immediately after bathing. And predators do not schedule appointments. A cat doesn't announce itself. It presses flat under a bush and waits, completely motionless, for one moment of weakness. A snake holds perfectly still in the grass, invisible until the perfect opportunity appears. A hawk circles high overhead, scanning the ground below for anything moving slower than it should. For a bird that cannot launch into the sky at full speed, those few minutes after bathing can be the most dangerous moments of its entire day. Studies examining bird behavior after bathing confirm that wet plumage temporarily affects escape performance, and during that window, the odds tip measurably in the predator's favor. So the question becomes obvious: why do it at all? Because not bathing is even more dangerous. Without regular feather maintenance, the damage accumulates faster than the bird can handle. Flight efficiency drops week by week. The insulation that protects against cold nights begins to fail. The waterproofing that keeps rain from soaking through weakens. Every system the bird depends on gradually, silently, starts to break down. So birds make a calculated gamble. Accept short-term vulnerability, protect long-term survival. And that's exactly why bird baths rarely look peaceful up close. Birds don't linger, they don't relax. They splash with urgency, moving fast and deliberately, then disappear immediately into nearby shrubs or trees to finish preening in relative safety, hidden from the predators that might be watching. What looks like a casual afternoon routine is actually a precisely timed maintenance operation running against a very real clock. But water is not the only tool birds use to keep themselves alive. This is where the story gets truly strange. Across the world, hundreds of bird species practice a behavior called anting. And the first time you see it described, it sounds like something out of a nature documentary you'd watch twice just to make sure you understood correctly. A bird finds an ant, crushes it deliberately, then rubs the dead insect carefully across its own feathers. Why? Because many ant species produce formic acid, a powerful chemical they use as a natural defense. Scientists believe birds may use this acid to reduce parasites hiding deep in the plumage, or to neutralize irritants before consuming the insects as food. The exact purpose is still debated, but the behavior itself is not in doubt. That peaceful robin sitting in your garden might be running a tiny chemical experiment, weaponizing one species against the enemies of another. Then there's dust bathing. Some birds throw themselves into dry soil with what looks like complete abandon, kicking dirt furiously through their feathers, rolling around as if something has gone wrong completely. But it's entirely intentional. Fine dust particles work their way between the feathers and absorb excess oils, dead skin cells, and debris that water alone cannot remove. The bird then shakes violently, sending the dust and everything it collected flying away. Nature's dry cleaning. Effective, free, and available almost everywhere. And finally, sunbathing. On warm days, you might spot a bird spreading its wings wide and holding completely still under direct sunlight. It looks unwell, exhausted, like something is wrong. But scientists believe the heat serves a precise purpose, encouraging parasites hiding deep within the feather structure to move towards the surface, where they become far easier to remove during grooming. Sunlight may also help soften the oils already present on the feathers, making them easier to spread during preening. Every strange behavior, every odd ritual, every inexplicable moment you've ever witnessed from a bird has a reason behind it. Because feathers are not just beautiful objects. They are the difference between life and death every single day. They provide insulation against cold that would otherwise kill overnight. They repel water that would drag a bird down mid-flight. They generate the lift that turns a small creature into something capable of outrunning almost any threat on Earth. Without them in perfect condition, gravity wins. And in the wild, gravity shows no mercy. The next time you spot a bird splashing in a puddle or a backyard bird bath, stop for a moment. You are not watching a cute afternoon activity. You are watching a living machine perform critical maintenance while predators may be waiting just feet away. You are witnessing millions of years of evolution compressed into a few frantic, calculated minutes. The bird bath is not a spa. It's not a playground. It's a battlefield. A daily gamble against predators, parasites, weather, and time itself. Most animals survive by avoiding danger. Birds survive by stepping directly into it. Because they have no other choice. Because sometimes risking everything today is the only way to